Today we're going to learn the difference between a Diamond ADC player and a Gold ADC player. This is Umbro Flames, he's a Gold 1 ADC. I am Sons of Thunder, a Diamond ADC. I've peaked at Diamond 1, and I asked him to record a game, tell me some of his thoughts while he's playing. I'm going to go back, listen, and watch, and tell you what I would do differently or what I might do the same. So let's take a deep dive and see what happens in this game.
With Jhin, I like to wait to pick skill just to kind of see how my support's gonna play, and
all right, I already have two thoughts. Number one, that is a great thought. I think it's great practice to wait on your level up of your first ability to see what you might need. Sometimes it's utility, other times it's the damage. Great practice for any champion. Second thing, this is the first wave and we're already losing priority on the wave. Now, if you're playing a mage bot like we are here, we're against the Xerath Tahm Kench and we have Jhin Lux. We should never, ever be losing priority of the first wave. The ADC damage output is reliant on auto attacks, primarily, and mages are reliant on their spells. So anytime that Xerath uses his spell, he has about anywhere from about 6 to 10 seconds is usually where I try and gauge it. Until he's able to do damage again. So if we're just either autoing the wave or whenever he uses his spells, we walk up to him and auto him, we're going to be winning the trades level 1. Because the further you get in this lane phase, the more levels that he gets, the more gold, the harder it's going to be for us to punish him, because mages in the bot lane, they get to choose when they want to interact with you because of their range and their damage and their spells. They just walk up, they throw a spell, they walk back, because that's what their damage is reliant on. They're all about their cooldowns, where ADCs are so much different because we're so much more about the auto attacks.
That was a bad trade. This lane is not fun. I'm gonna have to back off here because it's getting too dangerous, actually.
All right, so we just watched as Umbro Flames took a bad back. The Xerath was able to crash the wave, and now we're in this position. Xerath did not back, but greeted for another wave. Now, me in this situation, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to punish this Xerath because he's stuck around. He's low HP. He doesn't have barrier. He has Ghost Flash, and I have both of my summoner spells up. But if you'll see this here, he is not thinking about that at all. He's just thinking about last hitting the minions, and we don't capitalize on this situation. So these are huge differences that really set the tone of the game between my approach to the early lane phase versus his approach to the early lane phase, and what we can do to have a greater impact on the rest of the game. Okay, right here, I think that this was great. You could see that he was starting to channel the W as soon as Lux's E was already out, because he knows that that is going to root the Xerath. So that is a great mechanical play and great knowledge on just playing the champion Jhin. So that is awesome. But let's watch the rest of the clip. So we did get a kill, and that is fantastic. But I would have liked to have seen it played a bit more aggressively. Number one, we didn't use our flash to dodge the Tahm Kench knockup, which made us take a lot more damage than we should have. We could have flashed forward on the on the Xerath, Q and fourth shot at him. We could have done that here whenever our Q is about to be up in half a second, and he's rooted by the Lux, guarantee the kill on the damage, and then hopefully be able to kill the Tahm Kench afterwards. The last thing about this fight before we move on is this barrier usage. So we just saw that Xerath again used all of his spells. I'm going to say that a lot in this video. Xerath just used all of his spells. Tahm Kench just used all of his spells, and we're barriering 0 damage. So that's about 180 worth of, like, you know, fake health that we get that blocks nothing. So we waste that spell. With barrier, you have to do it hopefully at the beginning of trades. So there's so many things just in this fight alone that we can take a look at and change just little details that would make a difference between how he's fighting it versus how I would pilot the champion and try to execute this.
No, I'm falling behind in CS on Xerath, but
So this behind in CS on Xerath, that's going to be important for later. Just hang out and you're going to find out why we're behind in CS. So our team just double killed the bot lane, which is amazing. We were able to crash the wave. We even hit the turret a little bit, but we didn't reset and use our gold. And that is a huge difference. I mentioned earlier that we were going to see why there's a CS difference between Jhin and Xerath. This is it. We overstayed our welcome. We didn't back. We didn't buy Collector. We had enough gold for Collector as soon as we crashed the wave, hit that turret, got the plate. But instead, we hung around and we were forced to take a bad back where Xerath was able to crash another wave. And now the wave is pushing towards the enemy, which means that we're gonna miss even more minions, and Xerath is in a perfect position for where he wants to be.
I probably could have.
A couple of things about this. Number one, Lux and Kayn were both walking up towards this Xerath, and we were walking backwards. Again, a lot of backwards clicking.
Gone tier 2 boots before finishing Collector. Like.
Thankfully, this ends in a double kill, but we're going to see the same mistake that we made earlier. We're going to overstay, and we are not going to back and spend our gold. This overstaying actually punishes us way harder than you think. We end up losing the dragon because of this. So because we didn't back, we didn't buy a pickaxe to help us have more gold, but we had to approach this fight from a bad angle because we didn't reset. And the wave would have been pushing towards us, so we could have walked up to Drake from the top side rather than the bot side of this dragon fight. But we don't do that. We never take that opportunity. So this is something where he and I have a huge difference in when we're resetting after we're getting kills and taking advantages in lane. He's not spending his gold to his highest potential, and I would be in these situations, so I'd be coming back to these fights stronger and more ready to take action on the next fight that's upcoming.
I'm gonna die here. Yep.
So this is the last thing that I want to talk about, and I tell this to everybody that I've coached and in the ADC role, and that is you have to be mid. If it's 15 minutes and you haven't taken turret, your first thought should be, okay, how can I start going mid? And a lot of times you might be there until 16 minutes because you're like, I can take this tower within the next minute or so, but you really need to be midded, and there's a couple reasons why. As you can see, our team has just died from a fight mid lane. Our Lux is now here with us. We're forcing our Lux to either support us in the bot lane, or she has to go and support the team. Now, if she goes and supports the team, then Yasuo is going to be able to do whatever he wants. It doesn't matter if he's 0-4. Yasuo versus an ADC will always win, and that's the case for most ADCs in the 1v1 situation. You're going to lose in side lanes. So you want to get out of the side lane as quickly as possible, get into mid lane so you can affect these fights on the map. Your support has more opportunity to affect the map, whether top side or bot side, because they're closer to you rather than only being on the bot side of the map. Plus, at 15 minutes, the Herald spawns. You want to be a part of that fight if you can be. Make a difference, push mid wave, get priority, get to these team fights. That's what you're supposed to do as an ADC. But I've seen a lot of good things from Umbral Flames about some of the mechanics I thought were pretty good, and some of his decisions about how he's using his abilities, his thought process. So this is, obviously we're getting better from the lowest levels of rank, but there's still a lot of things knowledge-wise that we can grow in as gold players. Hopefully this has helped some of you grow and learn in the ADC role. There's a lot of knowledge things that you might have never encountered. Hopefully being able to see Umbral Flame's side of the story and what he's thinking versus what I'm thinking has helped you out. And if it has, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what ELO you'd like to see next. And we'll see you next time. Peace.